How are you? こんにちは皆さん、お元気ですか? Today's video is about anime number 14 and about tea ceremony. We've got two words to say tea ceremonies. One is sado, sado, like this, and the other one, chanuyu, chanuyu. But first, I'd like to explain you about matcha. Matcha is the tea used in the tea ceremony. Matcha is green tea, Japanese green tea, but this is like a powder, like this, matcha. And this is very easy to buy in your countries. So I'm gonna put the links below if you would like to buy matcha, okay? And matcha is very antioxidant and it's delicious. I usually don't, I never do tea ceremonies because I don't know it. But I buy this matcha because I use this to make some cakes or for ice creams. Well, to make some cakes, you can use just like a cocoa powder. And also you can drink like a cocoa, but without cocoa, you can use this matcha powder and milk and a little bit of honey if you want. And that is very, very nice drink, matcha milk drink. And also like a matcha cake and with ice cream, with vanilla ice cream with matcha, you only just put the powder on it and it's very beautiful and it's nice. And if you mixed up your ice cream, the vanilla ice cream with matcha, then you can make your matcha ice cream and it's very, very delicious. Tea ceremony is the ritual way to prepare this matcha green tea in the way, the most beautiful way, the most educated way, the graceful way. This is the tea ceremony. And in tea ceremony, not only this tea, but also we eat some sweets. These sweets are Japanese style sweets like this, and it depends on the seasons, it changes. So it's very beautiful and colorful, these kind of sweets when you take with matcha ceremony. Have you ever heard of this word, omotenashi? Omotenashi. This is Japanese hospitality with the most dedicated way and very exquisite way. And this is omotenashi, and it's very important in tea ceremony. This word, Ichigo, ICHIE, Ichigo, ICHIE, this word is the spirit of this tea ceremony. Well, Ichigo, it means one whole life. So your life, this limited time, one whole life. And ICHIE, only one meeting. Just now, only once ICHIE. It means that when you do this tea ceremony, you must think that maybe this is the only one, only chance, only once that you can see, you can offer this feeling to this person. So we have to give everything, every our heart to this ceremony, to you, to this person. This is Ichigo ICHIE. So with all of my heart, because this is only once, maybe this chance is never come again. So this is the meaning of Ichigo ICHIE. So when the people may do this tea ceremony, this is with all of omotenashi, all of hospitality, because this is only one chance. this is the meaning of Ichigo ICHIE, and I already made a video about Ichigo ICHIE, so I'll put the link below in the description of this video. In the beginning of this video, I told you that we've got two ways to say tea ceremony. The one is chanuyu, the other one is sado. But there's a slight difference, so I'm going to talk about it. Well, chanuyu. This yu, it means hot water. And cha, ocha, this is tea. So hot water for the tea ceremony. Well, but we can use this chanuyu like tea ceremony. Well, in this case, chanuyu, I can go there and you can go there too, just as the guests. Well, in this chanuyu, everybody is welcome. So we can take our tea and we can eat this Japanese sweet. This is chanuyu. Only maybe we must know how to enter, how to sit down, how to drink, and how to admire. But just with we don't have to study very much. So this is only some kind of advice. Then we can assist in chanuyu. We can assist in this tea ceremony. This is chanuyu, only the preparation of the tea by the master, and we can be the guests. But when we say sado, it's quite different. Even sado is translated just like a tea ceremony, but look at this kanji. Sa, this is cha, ocha, tea. Do, this is michi, this is the path, the way and the street. But here, the path of the tea. What does this mean? Well, in Japan, when we use this do, for example, judo, aikido, kendo, karate-do, or shodo for the calligraphy, and also kado for the flower arrangement. These kind of do, it's necessary to do this shugyo. Well, shugyo, this is the word to use for the Buddhist monks to get to the nirvana, to get to the perfection, or try to get to the perfection, because it's almost impossible to be the perfect. Well, shugyo, it takes whole life. So not only 1 hour, 2 hours, it takes months, years and years. So maybe whole your life to get to the perfection. This is the shugyo. But shugyo is translated like a practice or training. But this kind of training, the shugyo, is for whole your life. So sado, it is like this. So this is not only for the tea ceremony in that time, just like you are invited. Not is like chanuyu. Sado is this kind of dedication to learn how to make tea ceremony better and better. And what is important to the importance of the sado is to be a better person through this tea ceremony. The better person, it is, for example, better relationship with the others, and how I can offer everything to the others. To be a better person, this is the sado. This is tea ceremony. Tea ceremony is influenced by Buddhism. Buddhism is called Bukkyo. Well, Bukkyo came to Japan in the year 538. And the tea to drink, tea the tea was introduced to Japan by the Buddhist monks in the 9th century. But the Buddhism in Japan is a little bit peculiar. It's different, and there's also like a Zen, Japanese Zen. Then this also influenced very well a lot to the tea ceremony. So tea ceremony is really the spirit of Buddhist Zen. And now a little bit of history. Well, the 12th century, this tea ceremony was very popular, but only among the nobles. Do you remember I talked about 100人一首 last week in these kind of noble people? But in the 13th century, now the samurais began to prepare this tea ceremony. And in the 16th century, this Sen no Rikyu was born. Well, Sen no Rikyu was born in 1522 and he died 1591 with 70 years old. This man, Sen no Rikyu, he was very tall man, 1 meter and 80 centimeters. This is very, very tall. This is Japanese man, and in the 16th century, 180 centimeters. This is very, very tall and strong man. Well, this Sen no Rikyu is considered like the father of tea ceremony because he gave us many, many good advices, and he was very admired and respected by all people in that time. But he was forced to do seppuku, harakiri, in his 70 years old because he was too powerful. Well, I don't know if you know the Japanese history, but have you ever heard of Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu? These three very, very famous and important 3 shoguns in Japanese history. Well, he knew all of them, and all of them admired Sen no Rikyu. Sen no Rikyu was a very, very good advisor of these people. And actually, Toyotomi Hideyoshi had to order him to make this seppuku, so he had to do this harakiri. Maybe Toyotomi Hideyoshi didn't want it, but the people surrounding him told him, well, you must make him die, because if not, maybe you are going to be killed, because he's very, very powerful. But he's not going to kill anyone, but he's so famous. He's got lots of power, and he's loved, and he's admired, respected by everyone. So it was really pity that he had to do seppuku, but that was his end in 1591, and that was in 28th of February, very, very snowing day, so cold day. And this day, he did seppuku in his tea house. But around this tea house, there were 2,000 samurais guarding, because maybe any person wanted to save him. So that's why there were 2,000 samurais there. So it was the end of Sen no Rikyu. There are many concepts, very important concepts, that Sen no Rikyu taught us. For example, Ichigo ICHIE, remember Ichigo ICHIE, and also omotenashi, this Japanese style hospitality, and also wabi sabi. Maybe you heard of this word, wabi sabi, because now it 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 doesn't translate. It's like wabi sabi. Well, now I try to translate, but it's very difficult to translate so quickly, because if I want to talk about wabi sabi, it's just like a whole one book. Well, wabi it is very poor thing, very poor, not rich, very poor thing, just like a very simple thing, or very humid thing. This kind of things is wabi. So maybe you think, oh, this is not so important. But these kind of things, wabi, so he finds, or we have to find the beauty in this wabi, in this poor thing, in this simplicity. This is not symmetrical, but there's a beauty in this asymmetrical, or, or so it's usually it's not considered to be beautiful, but in these things there are beauties. This is wabi. And sabi, it's something deteriorated by the ages. It's very old one. So it's not new. It's not brand new. It's very old. So it's nearly deteriorated. So, but there's a beauty inside of these things. This kind of thing is wabi sabi. So, for example, in that in those days of Sennorikyu, for example, this tea bowl was very very expensive, so expensive, but more than a car or more than a house, even just like the land itself, it was so valuable, this tea bowl. And he said, oh, black tea bowl is wabi sabi. There's a beauty, because in that in those days, black, the color black was not considered as a beautiful color. So maybe red or the gold, so they are much more beautiful. But Sennorikyu said, well, black, this is wabi sabi. There's a beauty in it. So in this way, 4 philosophical rules of sado, this tea ceremony by Sennorikyu, is wakei seijaku. Wakei seijaku. Well, this wa, it means harmony. Harmony. And it means that we must open our heart each other. And the second one, kei, this is respect. So we must respect each other. Sei, this kanji, it is a purity. So we must purify our body and our soul. So we must be very clean. We must purify everything around us, and especially our soul. And the fourth kanji, jaku, this is like a quietude, or the calmness. And sometimes it's a loneliness, or like this, but this is like a calm. It means we must be very all the time we must be very calm. Even if something happens, so we don't have to be so stressful. We must be very calm down. Everything calm down. This is seijaku. Wakei seijaku. Now I'm going to talk about animes. 3 animes that you can learn about tea ceremonies. Well, actually, there are lots of mangas. There are lots of them about tea ceremonies. Maybe you can learn about tea ceremonies very well there. But anime, there were not so many. But today I'm going to talk about 3. Well, for example, the first one, Sadon des. Sadon des. That anime was from 2014. Sadon des. And here, the main characters are the girls in the institute, high school girls. High school girls learning sado, tea ceremonies. So with them, you can learn about tea ceremonies, sadon des. And also the second one, Tesagure Bukatsumono 2013. Here, it's also about the high school boys and girls. They are learning many bukatsu. This is club. In high school, there are lots of clubs that you can belong to. For example, you can belong to tennis club, basketball club, baseball club. And here, every chapter is about one club. But in the fourth chapter, this is about tea ceremony. So here, they show you how is the tea ceremony and how they are learning. So it's very interesting. And the last anime, this is Hyogemono. Well, here it is written Heugemono because you write like this Heugemono, but this word is we pronounce Hyogemono because Heu here nowadays we pronounce Hyo, but this is very old style of writing. Hyogemono, that is from 2011. But this anime is incredible good. So and won lots of cultural prizes. So it's very good, and I recommend you to watch this Hyogemono if you can. And also there are lots of mangas. So many volumes of mangas. And here, if you like history, Japanese history, about the samurais and shogun, and it's a very historical one. And also, if you this is the story about Sen no Rikyu, but it is like the narrated by his disciple. It's really interesting. So we can see how he died in the end too, and how was the world in this samurai world, but always with related with tea ceremonies. It's really good anime. It's very recommended. I hope you liked this video. If so, please don't forget to give me like. And if you share my videos with your friends, that will help me a lot. If you have any suggestions or some kind of commentaries, you can write me in commentary below. I read every commentary. 今日もここまで見てくださって本当にどうもありがとうございます。では、ぜひチャンネル登録、そしていいねボタン、それからお友達と私のビデオをシェアしてくださったらとても嬉しいです。ではまた会いましょうね。バイバイ、またね。